Good evening, everyone. This is the Coaches and Coxswains meeting for the National Invitational Rowing Championship, which is brought to you by the Intercollegiate Rowing Association and held on Lake Quinsigamond in Worcester, Massachusetts on May 10th. This regatta is held at a regatta point located at 10 North Lake Ave in Worcester, Mass. My name is Thad Gamula. I am with the Quinsigamond Rowing Association, and I will be assisting and presenting the material tonight. Tonight, I'm also joined by Laura Kunkemuller, the Intercollegiate Rowing Association Commissioner, Patrick Diggins, the Regatta Director, Lissa Bain, the Chief Referee, Kaylee Durham with the Intercollegiate Rowing Association, and several of the officials for this regatta. At this point, I would like to introduce Patrick Diggins, the Regatta Director, to say a few words. Patrick?
Thanks, Thad. Very quickly, just wanted to say welcome to everybody. We're looking forward to a great day of racing on Sunday. Also wanted to mention to you that all the folks you see working around the regatta and on the water are volunteers. If you get a chance, just say a quick thank you to some of them. It is always greatly appreciated. And when you do that, I always hear from the volunteers about how nice it was that somebody actually recognized them. So if you do that, I would appreciate it. Also, please let your visitors and spectators know that we do ask for a donation at the gate, and we're not doing cash this year. All of that information is in the packet online. Please check it out. You can buy your admission donation online in advance, and we would recommend that you do so. So looking forward to seeing you all this weekend and hoping for good weather. Thanks, Ned.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, we're sticking with the same model we have been for the last couple of years for attendance taking. If you could please text your school code to the number 22333 at this time to log attendance. For example, if you are with Connecticut College, you will text the code 36994 to the number 22333. Messaging rates may apply. Schools are listed alphabetically on the slide. The second option is to scan that QR code that you see in the top corner and follow the instructions that come up to properly log your attendance. Either way will work, I promise. If for some reason you do not see your school name listed on here, please email me at thadgamula@qra.org so I can manually log your attendance. While we wait for the attendance to come in, similarly to other Coaches and Coxswains meetings, we have camera, microphone, and chat turned off on this platform, all for except the presenters. We ask if you do have a question during the presentation, please enter it in the question and answer function, which can be found at the bottom right hand of your screen. There's a little 9 dots symbol at the bottom right. If you click that, it'll bring up the meeting tools, and you can click the Q&A function. And once again, if at any point anything that I say or anything that Lissa may say later on in the presentation, please just submit everything through that question and answer function, and then we can address them as they come in. Excuse me, not as they come in. We will address them at the end of the presentation. We get a few more to come on in. All right, we will move on. This is a new slide. Coaches, this one is for you. We had several issues last weekend with trailers arriving. As a reminder, you are not to travel north on Lake Ave. So Lake Ave is right here that travels along the park. Okay, that is Lake Ave. You are not allowed to go north on that and expect to get in the north gate. You are to come from Plantation Street and turn down North Road. At the bottom of North Road, you will wait for the detail officer to direct you across into the parking lot. If you come from any other direction, to repeat, you will be redirected around to North Road to queue with the other trailers. At no point, once again, are you to wait on North Road for the gates to open. If you are here before gates open, please go park at the Corazzini boat ramp next to Donahue Rowing Center. So once again, You are to follow those green arrows on your screen right now. That is also labeled the trailer route. You are coming from Plantation Street, going down North Road at the end. You will queue and wait for the police detail to bring you across. At no point should you expect to get into the parking lot traveling on Lake Ave North. Once again, gates open Saturday at 8 a.m. and Sunday at 6 a.m. Okay, so the practice day is May 9th between 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. And then once again from 1:30 p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. Launching will be suspended at 11:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. respectively. Please note that the gates to the Regatta Point officially open for trailers once again at 8 a.m. and will close and are locked at 6 p.m. Please do not arrive early. Once again, you will be asked to drive around until gates open. The hospital has specifically asked us to not interfere with their traffic by having trailers parked and staged at North Road. So the traffic pattern on practice day, I'm going to refer on this map to north and south. There is a north arrow put in here. So everything that's towards the start line from Regatta Point is considered north. So please keep that in mind if I refer to the directions of north and south. And just to also orient everybody, Regatta Point is on the Worcester side of the lake, where the vast majority of you will be boating from. Donahue Rowing Center is on the Shrewsbury side of the lake. Once again, Regatta Point is Worcester side. Donahue Rowing Center is Shrewsbury side. On the lake, we have 7 fully buoyed lanes, numbered 0 through 6. Lane 0 is closest to the Worcester shore or Regatta Point. Once again, I will remind you of this several times on how we are numbered. If you launch from Regatta Point on the Worcester shore, you must travel directly north to the start. You may travel north outside of the course in lane 0 or in lane 1. Lane 2 is a dead lane. There is no boat travel in lane 2. There will be several large wakeless marshalling launches in that lane. Please do not at any point enter lane 2. This means no crossing of the course at any point in time. Once again, lane 2 is your 3rd fully buoyed lane from the Worcester shore. There will be no pressure traveling to the start at any point in time. If you are launching from Donahue, you must travel outside the course past the finish before you turn to starboard and row across. You may then join the crews launching from Regatta Point and travel north outside the course in lane 0 or in lane 2. Going all the way down and across the finish once again emphasizes that lane 2 is a dead lane. At the bottom of the map here, you see do not cross Route 9. It's a large blue arch bridge. At no point in time are you to go beyond that bridge. Okay, once everybody is traveling north along the Worcester shore on practice day, I just want to point out a shallow area marked on the map. It is the pump house and is located directly across from Donahue. If you get too close on practice day or race day, you risk losing your skeg or damaging your boat. It is never a good idea to hug the shore anywhere past the 1,000-meter mark. Please avoid it at all costs. After the pump house, you will see the 290 bridge. You're going to enter the cove on the opposite side of the bridge by rowing through the small span. You then will immediately make your turn and practice south in lanes 3 through 6. No practicing in the cove, please. You are not to go around the large white buoys on practice day. Once you go through the bridge, you are to immediately turn and then go down the course in lanes 3 through 6. Please note lanes 3 and 4 are for pieces less than 1,000 meters, and 5 and 6 are for pieces greater than 1,000 meters. Once again, at no point should you enter lane 2. It is a dead lane. Remember, we have lane 0, so lane 2 is the 3rd fully buoyed lane. Travel the entirety of the course before you spin towards the starboard to either go back up for another time around or to land. You will land at the same dock that you launched from. If you land at Donahue, please make sure you go all the way up into the start and come down along the Shrewsbury shore. Please remember, the course closes at 5 o'clock, so don't plan on taking another lap at 4:45. And once again, at no point are you to row beyond the Route 9 bridge. Once again, that is just past the finish line. That is a very large blue arch bridge. Okay, so on race day, launching and control commission, Coxswains, you will be launching from 2 different locations if you're at Regatta Point. We have the North Docks and the South Docks. The North Docks are our 2 floating docks at the northern end of the park. The South Docks are tucked on the opposite side of Regatta headquarters, and it's just a single dock. Please, coxswains and coaches, allow access to both docks. Do not place oars or boats in the way. They will be promptly asked to be moved, or we will move them. Please just do not place them in the way. The referees at Control Commission will not be doing thorough safety checks. By launching your boat, you certify that the boat is compliant to all safety regulations. Just like last year, your bow number will be provided for you. Please pick it up at Control Commission as you are launching. We ask you to be quick on the docks and to listen to the dock masters. Race day traffic. On Sunday, the traffic pattern is very similar to the practice day. Once again, if you're launching from Regatta Point, you will proceed north, but this time it's outside the buoy lane along the Worcester shore. We do have several 7-boat races, so please keep clear of the buoy lines. Last thing we want is for your oar to go over the buoy line and for you to interfere with a race. Same thing, avoid the pump house shallows directly across from Donahue Rowing Center. If you are launching from Donahue Rowing Center, you have 2 options. You can go directly across the lake, make sure no races are coming, and avoid the pump house, or you proceed south along the Shrewsbury shore outside of the buoy line. The main difference between the race day and the practice day is that on race day, if you launch from DRC, you may not go further than the 1,500 meter mark. You will then turn and make your way across when no boats are coming, then join the rest of the traffic headed north. Once again, if you're launching from Donahue Rowing Center, you are not to go further than the 1,500 meter mark. Excuse me, sorry. We'll go straight across and you will join everybody headed back north. Same thing, watch out for the pump house shallows. After the pump house, all crews will once again enter the warm-up cove. You're going to enter the warm-up cove through the same location that you did on practice day. You will enter through the small span between the piers at the Worcester shore. There is absolutely no pressure pieces going through the bridge. Once you enter the start cove, you will see 3 large white buoys in the center. The traffic pattern is clockwise around these buoys. Please keep your head on a swivel. It can get very tight and very congested real quick up here. Please note the red shaded area in the back. Do not enter the back of the cove. You will get out of earshot of the officials. There is a white buoy that is placed out there, so please do not go beyond that white buoy. Stay on the racing side of that white buoy. The marshals will gather you before your race is called and have you line up in numeric order. When your race is called and you are directed to do so, you will enter the course between the Shrewsbury shore and the eastmost pier of the bridge. At no point do you go between the stake boats. Once again, at no point do you go between the stake boats, and for that, you are at no point to go in front of the starter's tower either. After you get past the pier, you will turn your boat to starboard, row to your lane, and then turn back down into the stake boats. Do not row far beyond the starting area and attempt to back down at the 100-meter mark. It will not be pleasant for anyone, I promise you, especially depending on what the wind is doing. You will definitely need to keep your head on a swivel and be aware of the conditions. Here is another view of the 290 bridge. This is a view from the starting cove. This is if you were sitting in the middle of the 3 large white buoys. You can see all the way off to the right, the practice area where you enter, the small span on the Worcester shore. You can see next to that is the large racing span where the stake boats are. And then off to the left, you can see that entrance to the start for when your race is called. You're gonna go enter through there, around the pier, into your lane, and then turn and back it down. On race day, there will be a floating platform between the piers with aligners that will also give you direction if needed. But please enter to the start between that far left pier you see on your screen and the Shrewsbury shore, which is just beyond this picture, but I promise you it is there. Okay, and then we're going to go quickly to the end of the race, and then Lissa will fill in between. But after the race has been made official, you will spin to your starboard side and proceed quickly out of the finish line area. You will land at the same docks you launched on. Listen to the dock masters for instruction. Boats going back to Donahue will row up past the pump house, proceed directly across the course when there are no boats on the line waiting to start. And then depending if we have our docks installed, you're either going to go straight across and into the docks, or you're going to go straight across along the Shrewsbury shore, turn, and then land on our docks. Local coaches will be aware of what to do depending on our dock situation up there. If you do happen to medal in your grand final event, you will be directed to the awards dock. You can see it's a purple line here. You will be called in reverse order, so bronze, silver, gold. Please wait until you hear an official announce/direct you over. While waiting, please be aware of the shallows around the finish tower. The last thing you want to do after you win is to rip your skeg off going to the awards dock. Do not sit on the finish line while you wait to be called in for the awards. Just another heads up about the awards dock. It is an L-shaped dock, so we will call you in one at a time. So be prepared. Don't bunch up depending on the conditions. And then it's slightly tricky to get out of there. Just listen to your coach will be on hand. Listen to the dock masters on hand. Just please pay attention and let's move a little move quickly so we can get everybody in and out in a reasonable time. And once again, at no point continue south past the Route 9 bridge as depicted on this map. Once again, it is a very large blue arch bridge. Okay, now I would like to introduce the chief referee, Lissa Bain, to go over the weigh-ins and refereeing points of note for this weekend. Lissa?
Hello, my name is Lissa Bain. I'll be your chief referee this weekend. And as Thad said, we're looking forward to a great racing weekend, and we just want to touch on a couple of points to make things run more smoothly. So weigh-in windows are Saturday from 12 to 3 and Sunday from 6:30 to 9:30 a.m. If you're planning to come on Sunday, if you could just give us a heads up, that'd be much appreciated. And everyone will be weighing in at DRC. Everyone's weighing in at Regatta Point. No one's weighing in at DRC. So if you're launching and landing at DRC, you need to make arrangements to get down to our Regatta Point. As you can see from the helpful image, where the red arrow is, that's the garage where we'll be doing weigh-ins. And the green arrows point to restrooms so that if you need to change for weigh-ins, those are great places to do that. For weigh-ins, you need to be weighing in either your racing uni or shorts and a racing shirt provided by your school. So please don't show up in full sweatsuits. You'll need to go change. And also, please don't use the weigh-in area as a changing room. If you're wearing a jacket or a sweatshirt, you want to take that off for warmth, that's totally fine. But your uni top should be up, your shirt should be on, and you can weigh in socks, no shoes. If you have any questions on that, you can let me know. There is no test or practice scale, and there's no eating or drinking in line. For the men's coxswain men's cruise, your minimum is 125. Coxswain women's cruise, your minimum is 121. If you anticipate that you're going to weigh in 2 pounds or more lighter than that, please bring some weight with you. That can be sand, rocks, a weight that someone will work out with. That cannot be anything useful like your wrenches. So please be prepared for that. And I think that's pretty much everything on weigh-ins. They should be pretty straightforward. This year we're doing it slightly differently. I think we started doing this last year, where if you need to carry weight, we will write the number on a sticky note and pass that to you, and then you'll bring that number back with the weight. All right, next slide, please. And just to cover follow on some racing procedures and between the starting and the end of the course that covered. So we'll be loading stake boats if everyone presents on time from lowest to highest. If you, the marshals will call for you, they will not go searching for you. So it is your responsibility to be paying attention to the time. we'll be using cell phone time, and also to be aware of when your race is. Our expectation is that everyone knows how to lock onto a stake boat and will be locked on at 2 minutes to race time. And also that everyone knows how to, whether you want to call it sculling or pinching, their boat to keep their point once they are locked on. The good news is if you do not know how to do either of those skills, there are some drills that you can practice between now and race day to get yourselves prepared. If you have questions on those, please let me know. But things like, practicing backing it down, practicing getting your points during practice for sculling, it's a great time to practice those. You may have noticed in the packet that we highlighted that hands are not recognized at the start. So please be aware that hands are not recognized at the start. If for some reason you feel that it was not safe for your boat to start, stay in the starting area and the referees will call the boats back. But once you've left that starting area, you have accepted the start. We are hoping to use a standard start, and in that, some people call it a pulled start. So when it's race time, the starter will state each crew's name. So it'd be Scepters, Fleet, Charge, Frost, Victoire, Golden Eyes, red flag goes up, attention, go, and then flag goes down on the go. And then you may go when the flag moves. If the weather prevents us from doing that and we need to do a quick start, we will do that. And for a quick start, there's no polling. The referee will say quick start, flag will go up, attention, go, flag goes down. And the start can happen at any time after the 2-minute mark has been called. And as I said before, everyone's expected to be locked on and ready to race at the 2-minute mark. Breakage is 100 meters. That's denoted by a change in the buoy color. And so that we're all clear at this regatta, breakage is actual equipment breakage, equipment that is damaged or broken due to a crab, over the head crabs, and the ejection of a competitor. Things like jump slides do not count as breakage. In the event that you have breakage within that first 100 meters, you want to check your boat down, stop, and get the attention of the officials. Things like raising, kind of waving your hand, stopped boat. We'll bring someone over to assess what happened and what we need to do to remedy the breakage. And if you're in that race, the officials will stop the race and you should listen to the instructions of the officials there. At the end of the race, you'll want to wait for all boats to cross the finish line. And then if everything went smoothly, no one has any objections, the official following may ask to see weight from any coxswains who are carrying weight. If you have more than 10 pounds or so, you don't need to lift it over your head. A couple pounds, yes, you can show it. But for the larger weights, the official will come over and glance into your boat. As a reminder, coxswains, the weight needs to stay with you, closest to your torso as possible, and it may not be spread throughout the boat. And if you do have any objections to what happened during the race, maybe you feel like someone interfered with you, something went awry, please raise your hand when you cross the finish line as soon as you can, and an official will come over to you, ask what happened, and see if we can remedy it on the water. When you ask the official to come over, you should know what went wrong, like what are you objecting to, and what's the remedy you seek. In the event that it's not something that can be resolved on the water, whether you don't agree with the decision of the official on the water, or we need more data and the official cannot present a remedy on the water, there'll be an ombudsman, ombudsman person, and that person will be at regatta point. So as soon as you land, you want to go over and talk to them. And that person will attempt, with more data and time, to figure out a remedy that works for everyone. And if that does not come to a conclusion that is deemed acceptable, then it will be sent to the race committee. And the race committee's decisions are final. And that is the regatta director, the chief referee, and the IRA commissioner, or their designees. So everything will be decided by the end of race day. And yeah, and just sort of a reminder that hope everyone makes safe and fair decisions and competes with good sportsmanship. And if anyone has any questions on any of these things, I will be at Regatta Point on Saturday, and I'm happy to have these conversations in person. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Lissa. And to echo Lissa's points, if anything doesn't make sense that we say tonight, or if you have a question, please go find the officials. They will be at Regatta Point. They all wear navy blue jackets, please just go find them and resolve it that way. They're more than willing to answer any questions you have. Okay, in the event of an emergency, we have many different safety officials on the water between the rowing officials, police, fire, EMS, environmental police, dive team. We have a lot. If at any point you or anyone in your boat is having a medical issue, please stop and get the attention of the closest safety launch. If there is a weather emergency, mainly thunderstorms, but who knows, it's New England, the same mentioned safety officials will make an announcement. If there is an event where we do have to evacuate the lake, please remember, any crews south of the 1,000-meter mark are going to evacuate to Regatta Point. Any crews north of the 1,000-meter mark are going to evacuate to Donahue Rowing Center. So once again, if you're south of the 1,000-meter mark, you're going to go to Regatta Point. If you're north of it, you're going to go to the Donahue Rowing Center. We do have several medical locations at the venue. Regatta Point at headquarters is the primary location. Donahue Rowing Center has facilities, and on the water we have emergency personnel and medical locations as well. So in our wrap-up slide, please, as always, no public urination. Porta potties are provided throughout Regatta Point. If you are caught urinating in the lake, your program is subject to a 1-year ban, and you are subject to criminal charges. Anything that you bring on the water by a crew must come off with the crew. There is absolutely no handing anything to the stake boat holders. They have been told to not accept anything. And this is pretty much the end of the presentation. At this point, we ask you to submit all questions by the question and answer feature. To remind everybody, a recording of this meeting will be on the Quinsigamond Rowing Association YouTube page. I put a link will be posted on Regatta Central. I'm not 100% sure of that. I will distribute it to Laura and Kaylee to distribute as needed. As a reminder, there is a course tour video on the YouTube channel. And yeah, we can go through some of there were a couple questions asked beforehand that were answered, just in case you didn't realize the following points were the answers. The question is, will there be stake boat holders on practice day? There are no stake boat start docks installed on Saturday on the practice day, so that should be fine. And then if launching from Donahue on race day, where do we get our bow numbers? And the response was, there will be bow numbers provided at Donahue. Please make sure they go back in the pile so they can be reused. Okay. We have two questions, basically the same thing. When will the schedule be released, and what's the lane draw? Laura?
Sorry. So we have only just right before this meeting gotten the last polling information. So if you haven't gotten that, that's being calculated as we speak. And then that has to go to the timing people so that they can do the heat sheets. So I would say probably noon-ish tomorrow. That's my best guess.
Great, thank you. Is there a live stream link for fans?
I'll have it up on the website shortly.
As long as coxswains are in line to weigh in before 3 p.m., will they be able to weigh in even if it goes past 3 p.m.?
Yes.
Thank you. Whoops. Whoa. Sorry. As a reminder, Laura did put in there Rochester and St. Lawrence. You need to launch from the north docks so your boats can be checked. Once again, Rochester and St. Lawrence, you will launch from the north docks at Regatta Point. Does anybody else have a point they need to make?
Just a follow-up point on the awards dock. So SIDs will not be allowed down on the dock. If they want to take photos of the crew, then they can stand behind the tent there that sort of looks directly at the awards dock, or just wait until you get back to your trailer or tent or wherever if you want to take photos. What we noticed this past weekend was that crews, particularly the third place and the second place crews, were getting on the dock, and the first place crew was having to sit out by the finish line for a really long time. I understand that everybody wants to take photos with the medals, but that is why we have Row 2K there, and we've put a lot of effort into building that relationship with Ed and his photographers as our official media partner. So please just be mindful and respectful of that. That is why they are there to take the photos. Coaches, you know, we're not directing like our own photo shoots on the dock. If you want to get a quick photo of the entire crew while Ed or whoever is down there taking photos, go right ahead. But anything beyond like a single quick shot, please wait until the crew is back on land to do that, just so that we can keep things moving.
And one final point about the awards, as you coaches have seen in the schedule, we'll be doing the individual boat medals. So Coxswain, it's really important, as Thad mentioned, that you listen to the order that you need to come into the awards dock. And then after the men's varsity 8, we will do the team trophies. So there could possibly be some additional direction given to men's varsity 8 coxswains. So please understand that we're coordinating the NESCAC awards and then the NIRC awards, and we're going to manage your boats with that. Coaches, if you have any questions about that as we get further along in the afternoon, whatever those questions are, please see me and Kaylee and Patrick, and we will make sure that there's a shared understanding of how that's all working.
And we generally are able to get the team points pretty quickly after the conclusion of the racing. So please don't text us and ask, you know, what are the results of the team points, because I will put it in the group chat almost as soon as I get them. So you will know what they are within a few minutes of us getting them.
Okay, great, thank you. I see no more questions. So with that, I would like to thank everybody for attending, and we will see everybody this weekend. Thank you all.
Thanks, Thad.
Thank you, everyone.